Alrighty guys, what is going on? It is JT Bricks here, back for another LEGO Star Wars video here today. And as you all know, in this video we're going to be talking about LEGO Star Wars 2022 and beyond, and what kind of Clone Wars sets we could possibly see in the future. As some of you may know, I made a 2021 video about the Clone Wars, and that video did really well, so I decided, let's continue this series, let's talk about 2022, because as all of you know, pretty much we know what we're going to be getting for the rest of 2021. Some of the Clone Wars sets we will be getting include the Mandalorian Gauntlet Fighter, which is awesome, and the Ahsoka V Maul dual set, so that stuff ended up being true, and those are some really cool ideas, by the way. So I decided, you know what, let's look forward to 2022 and think about what other stuff we could possibly get. So without further ado, let's jump right into it, shall we? As some of you may know, one of the more iconic Star Wars vehicles is definitely the Ywing, and although the Republic Ywing is not nearly as popular as the normal Rebel Alliance Ywing, it's still pretty cool, and why not get the blue one from the Clone Wars? Pretty neat vehicle, I'm not going to lie. I think the blue color scheme is kind of weird, but also kind of nice. It looks good. It obviously has the Republic Ywing build and model and all that kind of stuff, which we haven't gotten in over 10 years. The last time we got it was in the original Clone Wars wave from 2008, 2009, I believe, and that set came out a while ago. That set actually doesn't look too bad in today's standards, by the way, but this one could be a lot better. It could be something different. We could get some minifigures like Jesse, Ahsoka, Captain Rex, some minifigures that would be really nice to have, specifically the clones, right? And just be a very unique set as well. Something that we'd get probably once ever, and definitely something that would tie in with the Clone Wars very well. Now, as I mentioned earlier, we did end up getting the Mandalorian Gauntlet Fighter, but we have not gotten the Darth Maul Gauntlet Fighter, which is much more of an obscure vehicle. I don't even think we really see it in the show, like the actual vehicle itself. We see like a light in the show in late season 7 of the Clone Wars, right? And it's not necessarily the most super popular vehicle, right, or that iconic or anything, but it's still pretty cool. I think the red and gray and black just kind of suit some of the Mandalorian vehicles and troopers really well, and although it's not traditional and not as iconic or as promotional, I guess, because they're not as popular, it's still really cool, and I think a lot of people would buy a set like this, myself included. So for me, this is pretty cool, more theoretical, more just kind of an idea than something that could happen, but still, LEGO can make anything they want, really, and, never say never, right? Now, one thing that would be really cool would be to get a Republic vehicle, or I guess major ship like this, a Republic medical frigate. Now, the only time we've gotten this type of ship class or model, I guess you could say, is when we got the Phoenix 1 or Phoenix Home Base, I guess, from Star Wars Rebels a few years back, and that's, that set's fine. It's not bad, but obviously it's, Rebels based, and this ship is traditionally a Clone Wars vehicle and a Republic vehicle, and it's something we've never gotten before. We've gotten the Republic frigate before, but we have not gotten the medical frigate, and, this is a nice model here. Again, all these sets are done by Brigwizard59, so shout out to him. He does some really cool stuff, but regardless, this is a great model, something unique, something cool, and something, again, you haven't seen before, so why not? Obviously, what everybody wants is a new Republic Venator. I mean, this is just like it's like an unspoken rule, unspoken law. Everyone knows that everyone wants a Venator, but, it hasn't happened yet, at least for a while. The last time we got one, and the only time we got one was back again, I think in 2008, 2009. And the other one's not bad. It's the only one, so it's the best one, I guess, because it's the only one. But it certainly could use some upgrades. It's a little bit kind of fat-looking and weird, but, it gets the point across that it is a Venator, and it's still one of the cooler LEGO sets out there. One of my friends had one, and it's still amazing. I know it's not the super most accurate thing out there, but it certainly is really cool. And just to get one that they could make these days would just be absolutely amazing. Even if it's like a playset-based one, not a UCS model, LEGO could really upgrade that old model, and, it would just be really cool. Let's be honest. Everyone wants to see this. Moving on, a vehicle that's not as neat or as interesting as a Venator, but I guess similar, is the Acclimator class assault ship here. Now, this one's kind of Episode 2 based, but I guess you get some Clone Wars versions as well, which have more of a Clone Wars paint coat job and all that kind of thing. Again, not as cool as a Venator, but still pretty neat. A Republic capital ship. Ultimately, this thing's, again, kind of theoretical, not something I think we'll ever see. I think the Venator is much more likely in the future, but still, never say never, and something like this is certainly possible, although, not very likely, of course. Now, my next idea is one that I think is really cool, but it's something we're probably not going to see anytime soon at all, maybe if ever, and this is this type of Republic model, this type of ship here. Pretty cool, I'm not going to lie. Looks good, has the Republic colors, looks awesome, right? Not necessarily a Venator or super popular Star Wars ship, but obviously we are getting, or rumored to get, Moff Gideon's cruiser this summer, right? And that is like the same model as this ship, the same class of ship. Maybe I think it's an upgrade, right? And it's obviously all gray like the Empire. So although these are different, technically, they're pretty much the same model. So, with that being said, it's kind of hard to predict or think about this thing as being set to come to life, right? Real life anytime soon. But still, a cool set nevertheless, and maybe something LEGO tries to tackle in the future. Moving on, a no-brainer is definitely going to be a new ATTE. The last one we got was about 8 years ago, and we're getting a new UCS gunship, and the last time we got one of those was, the last time we got a gunship in general, I guess, not a UCS one, but just a gunship in general, was 8 years ago. So we're about on that path here for a new ATTE, and everyone loves it, and, everyone loves them. The old one was really nice. I'm not going to lie, I had a couple of them, but they could definitely tie this one into the Clone Wars or something like that, and make it much more unique than the Episode 2 version, which was obviously tied to the Battle of Geonosis, which is cool and iconic and all that kind of stuff, but it's definitely not as unique as something like this could be, right? Continuing that trend, there's obviously the ATOT also, which to me, they could release separately like this, but realistically, if they were to release an ATOT ever again, it'd probably have to be with the Dropship, which that in and of itself, is a pretty good idea, honestly. A Republic Dropship with ATOT remake, either or is kind of cool in my opinion. I mean, they could do the Dropship with the ATTE, something kind of to that kind of scale, that kind of idea, I think is really cool, and it's really in high demand these days, so, LEGO could really capitalize off the hype, right? So something like this would be pretty neat to see. Moving on, one of the more unique sets actually is this thing, which is the Stunt Tank from early on in the Clone Wars, mainly Season 2 in the Zilla Beast episode arc. And it's not a very iconic or appealing tank in my opinion, not like the traditional Republic fighter tank. But again, it's unique, it's something cool, and it's something I would buy. I mean, it's something I'm going to hoard and get a bunch of. Probably not, but still, it's unique, it's cool, and it's definitely something that would be pretty rare in the future, right? And you can include some nice minifigures like this, and it's just kind of a nice set. To me, not one of my favorite ideas, but definitely one that could happen, and honestly, if it did happen, it kind of make me smile, honestly, if I'm being honest. The next set is also just a no-brainer. I mean, a new battle pack of any sort would be awesome. The 501st battle pack was absolutely amazing, I'm not going to lie. Yeah, it was $30, but it was pretty much double the worth anyway. 2 vehicles, 2 battle droids. I mean, the 501st troopers are back, right? That's just a dream, right? And if they did something like that again with clones and droids again, maybe a different battalion or something like that, like the 212th or something like that, Galactic Marines maybe, that would be great. Or if they even just did a traditional battle pack, that would be cool too. Really, at the end of the day, we just want more battle packs. And one of the more unique sets, in my opinion, and even an underrated idea here, is a set that would contain a large Octube Tower droid. Maybe you could do something like the Battle of Christophsis, or in this set here, the Battle of Urbana. I think these droids are also maybe even on Utapau, as the last time we got an Octube Tower, or Tri-Droid, I guess you could say, was in that Utapau battle pack, the Utapau Troopers battle pack, right? And although those were kind of scaled down and not really what you typically think of in terms of the Tri-Droid, you could do a really big one like this, which would be kind of cool, actually, I'm not going to lie. Something unique. LEGO doesn't really make too many large Separatist vehicles that often, or large Separatist sets, and this one would be kind of cool, actually, as it's something we would have never gotten before, and it just would be really cool to see the Octube Tower droid, it's kind of weird to say, get some justice rather than just like the kind of like brown little machine they made in that battle pack, because this is what it's supposed to look like, and the Utapau Troopers one is kind of weird looking. You can search that up. Regardless, though, this is something kind of cool, just kind of a big battle set like this would be kind of neat, and ultimately, why not? Really, why not? What's holding LEGO back? Another set we have here is this Republic Attack Shuttle model. Now, this one is obviously the model, kind of the boxy one that we see that Darth Maul is transported in, and although this is a great model, and it's a very nice set, I think the minifigures are great, it would be awesome. It is the boxy Republic Attack Shuttle, and, there's some cool renditions of it, like the medical one, like this one, and it would be something unique. Again, we've never gotten anything like this before. We did get the OG Republic Attack Shuttle a long time ago, and for them to remake that, in my opinion, would be much more favorable over this, although this is kind of more relevant now, I guess, and definitely something unique and something we've never gotten before. We've only gotten one Republic Attack Shuttle ever, and, to see even just the OG one again would be cool. The old model is pretty good, though, I can't lie, so they can upgrade it. I'm not sure how much, better they can make it, but certainly it would be something unique to see. Another cool idea we have here is kind of an Umbaran-themed set again. Now, there are a lot of Umbaran vehicles out there. We have gotten only one, and that would be the MHC, I believe, the Mobile Heavy Cannon. That's actually a great set, I'm not going to lie. Really unique minifigures in that set. The Heavy Cannon itself is pretty nice looking. It's kind of small, but, I mean, it gets the point across, and it looks just like the thing in the show. And we haven't gotten some of the other vehicles, though, like the, fighters that they have, which would be also another great set. This thing here, the hover tank, they have, like, that worm thing as well. Really, the Umbarans are really unique, and I think you could do a lot with that episode arc of the Darkness on Umbara. Pretty great arc, by the way. That's the other thing. It doesn't just have cool stuff. It's a great arc, and a lot of people recognize it and understand it. And it's really associated with the 501st, and considering their popularity, I mean, it's a win-win if you ask me and your LEGO. And for my last idea, just kind of throwing something out here, we have the Stealth Corvette from early on in the Clone Wars Season 2, Cat and Mouse. Pretty fun episode. I think it's chronologically like the first episode of the show, and obviously it comes out in Season 2, so that's kind of weird. But still, kind of a unique vehicle. Is it the most exciting? Not really, but is it something that would be cool? Sure. I mean, why not, really? Very unique vehicle. Obviously, you can put it in the stealth mode. I'm not sure how they could try and incorporate that into the set, to make it clear and invisible, translucent, whatever you want to call it. But still, it's a nice looking ship. It's different. It's kind of like a submarine, something, again, Lego's never really done before, I guess, for Lego Star Wars. And you could definitely include some unique clone troopers and minifigures in this set. Maybe even Admiral Trench, right? Pretty cool, though. I'm not going to lie. Love this model. Anyways, guys, that's pretty much going to wrap it up for today's video. Again, a lot of fun making these idea videos and such. Coming up with these things is always a blast. And, there's a lot of cool stuff out there. There really is. Again, big shout out to BrickWizard59 on Instagram. Make sure to go check him out. He makes some awesome stuff. Really don't know how he does it, honestly. Like, if you asked me, I would say I don't know, because it's super good and it puzzles me, but it's awesome. Regardless, though, guys, again, thank you all for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe, and I will see you all next time on JT Bricks.